So I had an abundance of raindrop ideas today, but this was...
And they all fell through.
Yeah, so now we're stuck with this. This one was topical specifically to today, so we chose it. Today, 7 years ago, Hurricane Sandy formed as a tropical wave, and it wasn't until over a week later that it was this presentation, which if you can orientate yourself there a little bit, that's Florida, that's Carolinas. And if you remember, Sandy's legacy was the mid-Atlantic, but also the path of Sandy is what I remember as a meteorologist. So I was here working weekends at the time, and it took a turn that hasn't been replicated since. Let's go to the track. This is the official Hurricane Center track.
Yeah.
So typically,
or
in general, as far as we know from recorded history, when it reaches a certain latitude and longitude, it ain't coming back, because our weather doesn't go that way for the most part. And so this was unprecedented. It's also when the European model became mainstream lingo. I mean, we knew about the Euro as weather weenies for a while, but the European model had this. All the other models had out to sea, and it stuck with it. And eventually they all started shifting. And it was the European model's forecast that saved a lot of lives and property because people started keying into it. Let's go on to the next slide here, and this is its whole path. So on this day, 7 years ago, it was this. It was an open wave in the Caribbean. It took a Cat 3 over Cuba, and it was actually a Cat 2 and then down to a 1, but it was in places that aren't used to dealing with it. And this goes back to our conversation about Maine and our power grid. You saw the devastation that occurred from Sandy, which truly was not a strong hurricane in places that don't typically deal with it.
Yeah, but Jersey Shore and around there really got it.
Right, and low-lying.
So, and what you seem to be implying here is that this is the same European model that says it's going to rain on me on the Patriots game on Sunday.
Probably bring a poncho or something is what I'm doing. I don't think you can't bring umbrellas in there. So
fair enough.
Thanks,
All right, we're coming up with more news right after this.